is for fractured patient na support group for palliative where ang mugid ako na same nga set up sa mga movie na nagastoryahanay sila because may same sila nga situation. So that's accessible sa states. Okay? Next, cognitive impairment. Symptoms requiring early cognitive assessment is if the patient has personality change, irritability, obsession, poor insight, symptoms of executive dysfunction. So this one, as a PT, we have the right to refer to neuropsychology. So if feeling tayo hindi siya aligned or hindi siya pasok sa ALS, may usual symptoms as this one, we can refer it to the neuropsychology. So refer patient to neuropsychology because of these symptoms as per assessment. Ito na siya. Next, spasticity, ariato, uniforme, pharmacologic treatment, we have your baclofen, dantrolene sodium, izanidine, diazepam, and your Botox. Non-pharmacologic treatment is your PT and OT. What's the difference of PT and OT? Fine motor malfunction, speech, or PDLs, yes. Pero here in the Philippines, again, especially here in Bacolod, hindi well known or hindi mayo OT na access. So si PT, Cobra, some work ni OT. But meron OT na friends sa Cebu, nagambagi siya sa ako niyang mas good like man Japon kuno ang PT, especially sa mga board exam. Because ang naghihambal niya, ang work kasi ng PT, hindi kaya gawin ni OT. But most of the work ni OT, kayang-kayang gawin ni PT. Kung nang kinalain natin. But again, of course, para namin, kung may OT, bigiti, for sure, meron, hindi na sila yung mga kinadiscuss man ng mga specific na wala sa ato na discuss. Pero galing as PT, mas tabi sa babaw to overview the kita. Kung gusto mas in namin nandun si OT. Okay, so I think kung open sa Riverside OT, sooner or later ng course. Pero most probably graduate or license na with that time because it's gonna be a long process. Yes. Next, weakness. Course weakness, how to manage exercise, assisted devices if needed, cane, rollator, walkers, AFOs, wheelchair, fire lift, cervical collars, or ramps. Especially if wheelchair-bound si patient. Sige, next. For pain, paracetamol, NSAID, anticonvulsants, and opiates. Sleep disturbance treated with caution to avoid respiratory suppression. Okay? This is for sleep disturbance. Of course, for this type of patient, for sure, may mga insomnia attacks na sila most of the time due to pain or due to uncomfortable na mga position and other aspects. So, given na lang siya. Dysphagia, how to counter this or how to manage this. Malnutrition and weight loss, predictors of survival, of course. The more healthier physically si patient and physically through nutrition, the better. So patient should be referred urgently to both dietitian and your SL therapist, okay, for nutritional support and techniques to improve swallowing. Okay? Dysphagia, consideration, significant weight loss, inadequate fluid or caloric intake, difficulty swallowing medication, okay, frequent choking during meals. So ano ang aton, i-look out for frequently choking or aspiration pneumonia. Pwede siya magtalang ang solid food to the lungs, di ba? It could arise another problem when we don't want that. Prolonged meal times and aspiration pneumonia. How about respiratory insufficiency? Okay, early symptoms, dyspnea or exertion. Supine dyspnea, marked fatigue because wala pa yung oxygen. Excessive daytime somnolence, frequent nocturnal arousals, vivid dreams, and morning headache. So, did you know that after CABG, it's very common for the patient to have very, very bad dreams? Okay, ang manahambal sa ang surgeon, like, do expect ka daw na you will have frequent bad dreams and arousals and muscle twitching. Then that's true. Ang pops ko, after niya cabbage, grabe siya magpisik niya from time to time for very deep sleep siya. So mapag kung ano mga bad dreams, ang mo gina-dream. Hindi niya na matandaan, pero bad dream, hindi man po no, very, very bad dream is gahulog siya sa building, ang naguro grabe, pisik and all. So 1 month na siya post-op actually, and he's doing good, thank God. Tapos, ang mga student ko din, yung mga interns, ang gahandle. Tapos, ang pag-IE nila, ara ko sa kilid. So, ka-IE sila, kung baan sila kasi Q&A ko, hindi man ko nakapabibulo. Hindi na ako tapos, may mga, pinahulat ko lang siya maghambal na based sa gina-interview niya sa father ko. Mga, for example, ang iya angina, gagula at crash, so di ba it's stable angina, it's chronic or what. Pinahulat ko lang siya kung what type of angina ang ginahambal ni patient. Dahil sa body man siya ko, nagpalang very good. So, most probably, sir, stable angina ng imo case, which is, ang magina stable angina sa father ko. So, amo na siya. So, it's very, I'm proud to give na sa muna, parehas lang sila sa inyo. But now, they're on their field, they're doing good. Dahil sa mga lab-center ng mga interns, so they're very good at what they do already. I'm very proud. So I hope tanan ka mo one day soon na makita naman ka mo along the way. Okay? So last na lang, for respiratory insufficiency, again, management of respiratory complications should be discussed early since amuning aton hindi gusto matabo. Respiratory muscle weakness, independent predictors of quality of life. Respiratory failure, most common cause of death. Okay? Respiratory function test, we have your NICE guidelines performed every 3 months to assessment tool. Non-invasive positive pressure ventilation, standard of treatment. Okay, so that's it. Do you have any questions? Clarifications? None. Sige. For next week, we will be having your case prep. And then guys, please heads up na after the case prep, I think we will have our short quiz individual. So ano miss ang bukod sa case prep na short quiz individual, are ang discussion today. And then makuha ko iba-iba na question from the case journals of your classmates.
Friday, manap kami sa Friday.
Friday yan is.
Friday ko dito. Sulipan. Oo.